Welcome to Acurio Beyond Business, where we dive into the journeys of exceptional founders shaping the future of their industries. Today we find ourselves in Madrid, exploring Seedtag, the company at the forefront of contextual advertising. We are here with Jorge, the co-founder of the company.
Jorge, how are you?
Hey, Katie. How are you?
Very well. Nice to see you.
Founded in 2014, Seedtag has built an AI-driven solution that enables brands to connect with audiences in a privacy-first, cookie-free environment. As digital advertising moves towards a world without third-party cookies, Seedtag's technology is redefining how brands engage with consumers. With a strong global presence, the company continues to innovate and set new standards in the ad tech industry.
So tell me, what first inspired you to start Seedtag?
So it was 2010. I joined Google after a couple of years working in management consulting. And I had the opportunity to meet Albert, my co-founder. And after a couple of years working together in Google, we came up with an idea after seeing that digital advertising was getting very complicated, especially around privacy. So the users were tired of being chased. They were tired of being getting cookies to collect all that information without their permission. And we thought there was an opportunity to create a technology that could deliver effective advertising in a more privacy-first way. And that was kind of the spark that started the venture. And yeah, after 11 years and a lot of work, here we are.
Yeah, wow.
So, yeah,
an amazing story. Should we head up and carry on and ask
let's do it.
a few more questions?
Go ahead.
Super. I mean, you guys have grown, so much over the last 11 years now. What, if you had to kind of name a couple of pivotal moments, have you lived through that have been crucial to achieve that growth?
So I think there are kind of external factors. So for example, I think it was around 2014, 2015, when Apple decided to stop third-party cookies in iOS, and also GDPR came into Europe, and that was a very positive moment for the company because privacy became a much more relevant topic for everybody in the industry. And our technology that was originally built for that purpose then became much more relevant for our clients, right? And I think that was a very nice tailwind for the company, and we were able to leverage on that. I would say another critical time for the company was COVID. It was a period where we worked on a repositioning and rebranding of the company. We did a very deep exercise on how to position the company in the market and how to visualize what we do in a more fancy and flashy way. And also during that period, we did two acquisitions. We acquired companies for the first time. We acquired a company in Italy, another in Germany. And we were able to do that during that lockdown, a little bit depressed period. And once COVID was over and the market went back, all that work pushed up a lot. And we got a very nice growth after COVID. And we kind of consolidated as one of the leaders in contextual advertising across Europe and Latin.
Amazing. Yeah, in fact, I was just about to ask you, and now you've touched on perhaps one of the challenges that you've been through as a company. Maybe asking you a bit more personally, as a founder, what has been the biggest challenge that you faced creating this amazing company?
So I would say, at least personally for myself and also for the company, expanding into the US market was the biggest opportunity for us, but also the biggest challenge. We made the good decision of sending Albert to New York, and it was a very good decision because we've been growing very fast in the US, and he did an amazing job building up the team, setting up the office, and he's still doing an amazing job working with the US team. But for me, it was also tough to stop working in the same place, right? So we were sitting next to each other for many years in the same office. And then overnight, we were many kilometers away, right? When you're two founders and you're used to manage the company as one CEO because we're co-CEOs, that distance also creates some challenges on how to make sure that there is one decision-making engine and brain instead of two decision-making brains. I think we've been able to manage that very well and staying close to each other and staying very much in touch. And also from a personal point of view, I mean, we're very good friends. He's the godfather of my kid. I'm the godfather of his daughter.
It's really lovely to hear you speaking so fondly about Albert. There's not that many stories of co-founders staying so together and so united. So, again, a huge congratulations on that. When you're looking forward now, and obviously with the world changing as quickly as it is at the moment, that's quite hard to visualize. But what would be sort of your vision of where Seedtag, should be going in the next few years? Or where would you like to see the company, perhaps?
So I think we're in a very interesting moment in time, not only for Seedtag, I think for the world in general, but especially for the tech companies. I think the changes around AI are going to disrupt the way that we conceive the world. And especially around Seedtag, I mean, our core product is artificial intelligence, right? So we build artificial intelligence to understand the context, to understand the content, understand the interests of the users, and deliver effective advertising based on that understanding and that targeting capabilities. On one hand, this new AI generation, it's a challenge for us because when we started, we were used to build models from scratch. And that is not the way to do it today because we know that we cannot compete with the big LLMs. On the other hand, it's a massive opportunity because we have the talent, we have the know-how, we have some of the best data scientists in Europe, and we are adapting and we're evolving with the changes around AI to deliver more value to our clients and to build new applications that are more powerful. And that journey to me is fascinating. So we're now evolving Liz, that is the name of our AI, into a more of an agentic framework, into more of an agent that is not only able to contextualize and to define the contextual targeting, but is also able to do a much broader work with the brands. So connecting that understanding with an insights layer, with a creative layer, with a delivery engine. And I think those are possibilities that were not available 2 years ago, and today is something that we can unlock and we can build more value for the clients.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an amazing time in that sense. Does that scare you at all? Do you fear that you're going to see more competitors arising using the AI tools as their focus, as their core? Or, as you mentioned, is this really an opportunity perhaps even for future acquisitions for you?
That's a very good point. I was having a conversation with one of our engineers last week, and he told me that he's 20 times more productive than 3 years ago because of the copilots and all the different tools available. That creates a lot of opportunity for new startups and new entrepreneurs to create new companies much faster and with less investment. I think like 5 years ago, there were a lot of startup creation, a lot of founding going through the early stage. We've been through a period that is being a little bit more dry. Unfortunately, I think now with this new power that is available for the engineers, we're gonna see a comeback. And that is, of course, is a threat for established player, right? Because we will see more of that coming. What we must do as a company is to make sure that we also embrace those technology, embrace those capabilities, and that we continue investing in technology a lot to make sure that we stay ahead of the curve. That is also an interesting conversation that I had with one of our investors. He was suggesting, so now that the engineers are 20 times more productive, we can have 20 times less engineers. And I said, no, it doesn't work that way, right? If we do that, we will be less competitive because the tools, the copilots of the world are available for everybody, not only for us. So we need to continue investing more in technology and also make sure that all our engineers are 20 times more productive. And that should translate into more value for the clients, into more value for the humankind, right?
Absolutely. And we were sort of chatting a little bit earlier now, and obviously at Acurio Ventures, we've very proudly invested in Seedtag. How do you navigate being able to keep all your investors up to date, often having to deal with investors who aren't as close, obviously, as you are to the business, and being able to sort of maintain your focus internally, but also obviously keeping all of us happy and quiet?
It's not easy, especially when you start getting like investors that are investing in later stages, like private equity folks, that they have higher demands in terms of reporting. You need to make sure that your N-1, your leadership team, is very solid. So you need to invest on having the best possible talent in that layer. And then you need to have a great CFO. You need to have a great team that is able to deliver at least good financial reporting to the investors. And then as founders, of course, we are very much in touch. We try to dedicate a specific time for that, and then make sure that they respect that you need to still dedicate the majority of your time to being looking at the market, to drive innovation, and to focus on the execution and the delivery of the P&L.
Yeah, absolutely. And finding talent isn't often that easy, no? And particularly who you can trust, who you can delegate to. When you're out interviewing people, and obviously you have a lot of different areas and sectors, but if you're going to speak about perhaps more general values that you look for in people at Seedtag, what would those be?
Yeah, we've invested a lot of time on hiring senior leaders over the last couple of years, and it's super tough. First, because in the interview, they are very smart. I mean, these guys, they know how to do an interview. They know. Actually, they're great professional. What you need to understand if they are a great professional for your specific context. And we've hired very smart guys that I think they're amazing professionals, but they did not fit into Seedtag. And to me, the main reason is that Seedtag today, it's a scale-up where we still need to get a lot of shit done. And we need people that are very action-oriented. And this action-oriented is something that over the last 2 years we have integrated a lot in order to hire people that are successful. Because you can find very smart guys that they are more thinking-oriented, and that can work very well into a different type of company. But in a scale-up, if you're not able to get things done quickly and deliver impact quickly, then you're gonna fail.
So you touched on a couple of acquisitions that Seedtag has done recently. Has the idea behind these acquisitions been to expand your offering, to go into new geographies? Maybe just to understand a little bit the strategy behind these.
Yeah, when thinking about the inorganic growth, actually we always look at two different angles, right? One is the market expansion, where we did the German and the Italian acquisition that I mentioned before. And also in 2024, we acquired a company in Australia to expand to that very far market. Which is painful for the time zone, but it's a great market, it's a great opportunity. And then we also do like product capabilities acquisitions. And in 2024, we did a very important one. So our core business focus on contextual advertising, privacy-first advertising in the open web. So in the web that you read on the internet. But today, there is a lot of attention and a lot of eyeball time that is moving into the television and into the connected television, right? And as an advertising technology company, we need to make sure that our technology is available also where the eyeballs are going, right?
And so, how do you do that? How do you sort of penetrate these new channels, as it were, which haven't been in your roots of
yeah,
where
so
you
that's why we went for the inorganic route. So we acquired a company in the US last year that it's kind of a supply side platform that is directly integrated with these broadcasters and these connected TV platforms to be able to get access to their inventory, and then being able to deploy our artificial intelligence on top of that inventory to understand what people are watching on the TV and being able to deliver relevant ads based on what they're watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, do you think you're going to have to continue to develop a lot of your in-house technology, or do you plan on acquiring more and more businesses to incorporate their technology into Seedtag? Or is it a combination of both?
At this point, our focus is on organic development and organic growth.
Okay.
I think we did that CTV acquisition because that was a capability, and also it was kind of a market positioning that we didn't have. I believe now for the next 3 years, we have a plan where most of the development, both in terms of business development and also in terms of product development, will come primarily through organic efforts. Yeah.
It's funny, I think sometimes M&A can perhaps sound sexier or more glamorous than it is. The reality of integrating new teams, particularly when they're from completely different countries and cultures, how have you found the balance between allowing them to continue to exist in if you like, their environment, together with incorporating them into the Seedtag world, if you like?
It's not easy. All of the acquisitions that we've done, we have integrated them a lot into our core, because that was the main reason, was to get them into the one Seedtag umbrella. But it's true that dealing with different cultures and different teams is not easy. In some cases, we've been very successful, getting the teams very much integrated and kind of wearing the Seedtag t-shirts and the Seedtag colors from very early on. On other cases, it's been much more difficult. And even in other cases, we've done some mistakes, in my opinion, which is when you acquire a founder-led company, you need the founders, at least for a decent period of time.
Thank you so much for your time today, Jorge, for showing us your offices and for being so generous about sharing insights into not only how you've built Seedtag and the amazing company that it is today, but also talking about some of the challenges that you faced and that you face today. So thank you very much.
You're so polite. I can see that you're British. No, thank you for coming. It was a lovely time. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, and see you soon.
And so with that, we close today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again soon with another visionary founder. Thanks a lot, and see you again.